Hey guys, this is Ropoop14 here, and I just have to say, I've been getting tons of requests to do some more Hunger Games, and so 3 kits were changed to the free kit for the month or however long it lasts. I'm still not quite sure. But basically, instead of the old kits, which I did have a video tutorial on, there's now Demo Man, Frosty, which is the kit I'm currently using, and also, what is it, Chameleon. And so I decided that I should probably record a tutorial on the 3 kits. But here, I was playing as the Frosty and recording clips, and I was showing off uh, basically how to use it. And then I started doing really well. I kept going, and obviously in the title it says Frosty Victory or whatever. So I'm not really spoiling the ending by saying that I won, but I won. So this isn't live narration, clearly, because I'm already telling you how it ends. What ended up happening, though, is I got interrupted during the recording process, and it was a pretty bad interruption. It was about 2 minutes, where I just couldn't even talk, and then after that I just gave up on any hope of doing a live narration for it. And in the end, I opted just to do this post-narration on it, and, I don't think it's too bad. I got Snapple in my hand. Just kidding, I have vitamin water. Snapple's empty. And I should be good to go with this recording. Hopefully, when I adjust my mic like that, it doesn't hurt too much. Doesn't make too many noises. Because I can get really annoying. But anyway, you can see, we're getting started now. Of course, there's the 2 minutes of invincibility, and I fail trying to get up this little hill. And basically, with the Frosty kit, I might as well explain it, because I don't think I'll have my tutorial released before I have this video released. When you're on snow, you get a speed up. It's speed 2, and you start with 4 snowballs and a compass. You can throw the snowballs to the ground to put a little blanket of snow there, and walk across that for the speed boost. You can also turn the 4 snowballs into a block of snow, and use that as a block to climb up. It's not personally my favorite use for it, but it is a use. And then the other thing is when you throw a snowball at water, it freezes the water. And I think I'll demonstrate that, but not quite yet. Now, as for basically every kit in the game, this early, it's about getting a couple of logs, making the crafting table with sticks, and then the tools. At this point, I only have about 30 seconds. And I actually said to myself, I'm not going to play this game too seriously. I'm just going to try to get some clips and get out. And obviously that's not the way that this ended up going. So I killed a wolf. I don't really know why. I guess just so I don't accidentally hit it when I'm not invincible. And also to see if it's a chameleon. If it was a chameleon, I would not have been able to hurt it, because he would have been invincible as well. And then I could have just jumped him really hardcore the second invincibility ended. Now, with Chameleon Free Week, I was very paranoid about animals, and while I might not mention every time that I'm going for animals specifically, thinking that it's a chameleon, I'm sure I did it when I was doing it live. Because there's some points where I still narrated it live, and then there's others where I was just like whistling and stuff, just because I was just like, there's no point to doing a live narration of this, but I might as well, do it for some parts so that I have a better idea when I do it, for now, when I'm recording this post-narration. Something I have to mention is you will probably notice the shovel I made, and it's just so I can get more snowballs. And literally, they're not, like, overpowered or anything. They don't give you a huge advantage, but they do give you a slight advantage, for sure. Having the snowball lets you do this. See how much water just got frozen? And you'll also notice that there's a person over here pretty soon. And then that's just me throwing it at the ground. So I pelt him with snowballs. I don't really know why. I just really felt like wasting it because, what else is my shovel going to be good for? And I say hi to him, a nice little greeting. I like to be friendly with the people I play with. You never know. Someone commented on my videos and subscribed to me who said that he played a match with me, and I was like, wow, what are the chances of, you finding a video that I put out and having you be in the actual game? I'm not like, some crazy, uh, you know, 500,000 views per video person. The chances are pretty low, but I figure if it happened to that one guy, you never know who might recognize me on these servers, and I try to be as kind as I can. Now, of course, when I say, maybe I shouldn't say as kind as I can, because I do try to kill them. Uh, I'm friendly in a community kind of way, where in the chat and stuff, I'm not talking, I'm not insulting them or anything. And I'll send them a nice little greeting and everything else. And the other thing about post narration is that sometimes when I'm trying to narrate it with my program, the video kind of lags. And what that does is it makes it so, even though I'm talking about it and it looks like it's at the part right now, like where I'm killing this guy who looks like he has diamond armor on. I love that skin. It's so cool. In reality, I could have been a good second or two off. Now, this part here is a good 5-6 minutes maybe. It could be longer, it could be shorter, but I think it's probably actually longer. And it's not very exciting. I apologize. Normally I would do some sort of edits, and I'm just losing food. I'm not getting hurt by anything. I'm losing health because I'm hungry. That's the one. Now, because I didn't want to get too crazy with edits and just keep the video a little bit more natural, I decided that I should not fast forward through this part, even though it's pretty boring, because it shows you really what I do, and it gives you kind of an idea of the time I take to get all of my materials. And of course, with only 36 people, I'm pretty safe to do this. I can't really brag about this victory. I mean, every victory is a pretty big deal. This is only my second. I have the other one up as well. I don't know how I got so lucky with the recording. But anyway, while every victory is special, this one, there was only so many people that started. It wasn't like 150 lobby. It wasn't that huge. We started in a jungle biome, so most people are just kind of like, this is getting old. I don't want to spawn here. So, probably around 70 to 80 people was the original number. So about half as many as the limit. Still, win's a win. Now, if this is your first time watching a Hunger Games video, which I kind of doubt if you just clicked on this, but just in case, or if you are new to it and you clicked it because it says Frosty and Victory and you thought that maybe this would be great for some Frosty tips, what you're going to want to do is you want to get stone pretty fast, and you're going to want to get food and wood. Food and wood first. Wood especially first. If you can't get food, you can hold off on that till a little later. And you're going to want a stone pick, and then you're going to want to find iron as fast as you can. Once you have some iron, you just want to make a sword and armor. Once you have that, you can basically go hunting for people. And if you're familiar with your kit and the enemy kits, you can be really safe about it. For example, this week or month or whatever, one of the free kits is Demo Man. So when I see gravel, I'm going to make sure there's no pressure plates on it. If there are and I step on it, I die. It acts as TNT. That's not something you want to go through. I will mention a little spoiler alert. In my tutorial on the 3 kits, which I should have up pretty soon, I need to pull some clips actually from this gameplay and throw them in. Mainly just the parts where I show how there's little sparklies on me when I'm running around, because that means I'm speeding up. And the fact that I froze the lake, or the little pond. Things like that I had to show off, and that just takes a little bit of editing and a little bit of time. At the moment, I really just wanted to get this done and up as fast as possible. And also, my girlfriend is going to college very soon. Actually, she's going on Sunday, and right now I'm recording 10 p.m. on Friday. So, I've pretty much been spending most of my time with her for the past couple days, and I'll definitely will be on Saturday as well. Of course, she leaves like 6 a.m. on Sunday, so I'll probably still be asleep then, but just thought I should mention that I might not be able to upload the video Saturday, so this might have to count for Friday and Saturday, if that's possible. I did mention before 2 victories. If you have not watched my Vampire Kit victory, That one's, I personally find that one a little bit more interesting than this victory. I still thought this victory was, of course, cool, but there's only one really intense part in this match, game, tournament, whatever you want to call it. There's multiple terms for it, and I will admit, it it's pretty It was really intense when I did it. At least I remember my heart was pounding so hard. Just like, if I don't do this, I'd be so mad. I've come so far, but that's all for later. And I'm just trying to fill this, time slot here a little better. This really does take me a while when I'm playing. This is the real time it takes to get all of this stuff done. Now, if you look at my inventory, I got some food over in the corner. I'm just trying to explain my hotbar a little bit. I like to keep the sword and the pick near each other, and then I like to keep swords all near each other if I have multiple, just in case there's a monk. What the monk can do is he hits you with a blaze rod, and then it takes whatever you have in your hand and throws it into your inventory. What that does, if you only have one sword in your hotbar, you're going to be weaponless. So, what I just did with the iron, I got a lot of it, put it in a furnace, started smelting it down. Of course, I had some coal so I could smelt it. And the first thing I did was make a sword. The reason that you would do this is because if someone comes into the cave to kill you, you want to kill them as fast as possible, and the iron sword will do a lot better of a job than, say, iron boots and a stone sword. I'm pretty sure the iron sword gives you a bigger advantage than having minor armor and a cruddy stone sword. And also, if it was a monk and he hit my iron sword out of my hand, I could just switch quickly to the stone sword. If it was just a stone sword, I'd have to make another, and at this point of the game where I have this iron, you really don't want to be making a whole bunch of stone swords. It takes up your inventory. And if you're fighting two people, and your inventory is completely full, you kill one. Say you want to turn on the other, but, there's a great item on the ground. And you could have picked it up, from killing the guy. He could have dropped it, like a diamond sword or something. And you could have picked it up, but instead you have a cruddy stone sword in your inventory. Or, any item pretty much that's obsolete at this point. So hopefully pretty soon I realize that I'm being stupid by just killing these mobs and that I should go out and get iron. Hopefully soon. Me not doing that's pretty pointless. I know during the live narration I was like, what am I doing right now? I'm sitting here in front of a furnace waiting for iron. And it's not even enough to make full iron armor. Also the numbers on that. 24 to make the full armor, 2 for the sword, 3 for a bucket. So that would be 24 plus 5, which would be 29. Generally, you only need 26, and you can win the match with a pretty big advantage. Now, grade 251, if you look in the chat in the bottom left, he is a chameleon. And, I did my little spiel on them a little bit where I just hit every mob to make sure that's not a chameleon. And he's funny. What happens with him is pretty funny. I just thought I should mention that in case I forget to later. When you see his name, when I actually see him in person, he's pretty funny. Hopefully it's not too dark for you. I didn't make torches this match because I thought that I'd be cutting most of this out. I didn't think I would get very far, even though I knew I was in the top 20 right now. I was just like, whatever, it was a pretty small server anyway. It's just going to end up that all the people that have died so far are like the first 50 that normally die, where they just didn't have good enough materials. And at this point, these 20 people all have, full iron armor and stuff. Oh, no. Something just fell off my desk, sorry. Anyway, back to the gameplay. Being a Frosty, going underground really you don't have an advantage underground as much as some other kits do. With chameleons, you can become any of those enemy mobs and sneak up on the person because your name doesn't show up. That works really well underground, and it also helps you hide because you don't even have to hold shift and your name's gone. And even though sometimes, when people are holding shift and you can kind of see their name, if you're close enough or whatever, I don't know exactly what the rules are. Well, when you're in your mob form, can't see it at all. Now, if you were watching closely and you're not, the most professional player at this, or you just have questions as to what the heck I'm doing, you'd notice that while I pointed out that stone swords are basically obsolete, I'm making stone pickaxes when I clearly have enough iron to make an iron pickaxe. The reason I do this is because I want to conserve my iron just in case I need more for any reason. Say, I break my sword or something, or I need major buckets just to, if there's a lot of people that are using fire or whatever, and I just want as many water buckets as I can get. For those reasons, I'm not going to make an iron pickaxe, because none of the materials that require an iron pickaxe to mine underground are necessary for this. You cannot get diamonds. The only way to get diamonds are the feast, which I'll explain later once it is actually going on, and in spawn villages, mob villages, the things with the villagers where you trade. There's no villagers that I know of, but there could be diamonds in a blacksmith's chest. Oh, and also abandoned mine shafts. I'm pretty sure those are the only places that could hold diamonds in this mode. Because I don't think there's any mob spawners that have chests with diamonds in them, like a zombie spawner. Now, another reason that I don't find this quite as exciting as my vampire victory is, in Final 12, just showing that, top 12. The other reason is because most of my kills aren't really, they're pretty spread out, and none of them early are very epic. They're so spread out that it's not like I turn on two people that are chasing me and just kill them both, living with half a heart. With the vampire kit, I would be going in 1v2 often and making sure that I kill one quick, get all my health back, and then I kill the other one. Now, my compass points at a guy named Squiggle273, and he just killed someone, and he's an Ender Mage, and he killed him with an iron sword. So that means he could be full iron just like me, but he'd have the Ender Mage advantage. And they're a pretty powerful kit. I actually played against an Ender Mage earlier while I was trying to get some footage, and actually it was an Ender Mage and four other people, maybe 3 other people, in an alliance. It was terrifying. Now, the other thing is I had to turn off the sound for the game in order to turn off my my live commentary. Because in my live commentary, parts of it were, just, like I said, whistling and the interruption. And that audio is mixed with the game audio, so unfortunately the only thing you can really hear is my voice. So, on the other hand, if you hate my commentary completely but you like to watch the clips, feel free to mute me and turn on some great songs. Do you need any? I don't know. I'm not going to recommend music. People are into different songs. Now I'm pointing at Miss Unique, and just watch the chat for like another 3 seconds. I'm pretty sure something bad happens to her or him. I'm not going to say that I specifically know their gender. And boom, killed by a monster. So, not even a player, and she was taken down. Now, I realized that, so I refreshed my compass, and I'm pointing at the people over there. Now, when I say the people, I say that because there's 2 of them. And I did say that, I didn't really do any epic double kills or anything. And I don't know. I just, when I do what I'm going to do in like half a second, I don't know if I counted it as really epic or anything. This is just pretty much a standard play for someone who's in full iron armor with an iron sword. These people aren't really a match. He runs up to me. He already must be low on health because I kill him so fast, and then Squiggle273 dies basically immediately as well. Now my inventory's full, plenty of stone swords and all this other junk, and I see nothing of real interest. I mean, wooden planks are cool, bread's cool. Actually, I take the bread because the bread's definitely worth it. Extra food on this kit. Unless you are paired up with, say, a cultivator. You're going to want food as often as you can get it. And with the chameleons going around, it's a lot tougher to get food because half the animals you see tend to be players. And the other thing about that is just like, when you see animals anywhere, there's a good chance that, there's a chameleon nearby, and if you go for the animal and start to kill it, he might turn around and jump you. So now there's only 6 people left. Well, not I haven't really done it, but, we halved the amount that there were a couple minutes ago. And my compass pointed at grade 251, if that was his name. I kind of forgot it because it faded away from the chat. Hopefully he'll talk in a second. Grade, what's your skin? A sheep. I don't really understand that. Whatever. My compass is pointing at him. Yeah, 251. Okay. Grade 251. And I know he's a chameleon because I've seen it in the chat, of course. So, I'm just going to let you watch this. I see a person over there, and I'm sneaking up on him. I use my snow to speed me up a little bit. I just jump past the creepers, whatever. Start attacking him. He's not real. Zapparick. And I'm pointing at the next person. Zapparick. Now, you might have seen something on the left side of the screen. Just keep watching the area that's a little bit like behind me. A little to the left. There. You see that creeper over there? Not these two. Right there. Opening the chest. I looked at that 2 or 3 times. Didn't even make the connection until I started. Yeah. That's pathetic. There was a creeper opening a chest, and I didn't even make the connection that it must have been a chameleon until right then. So that leaves 4 people, because one of the other people had to go or something and left the game, disconnected, And the person that's floating over there, his name isn't on the list of people who are online. So now TJ Lego Let's Fight says Tavalian team. I didn't even read that during the match, so I don't really have a reaction to that. But I mean, I don't generally team with people unless I'm on Skype with them, because otherwise it's pretty unbalanced and they could turn on me at any second. And in general, I don't like losing. But on top of that, I just don't trust people that easily. Although it's not that tough to trust people who are on Skype. If you're a jerk and you're on Skype with me and you can promise that we'll just have a good match, and then you just completely turn on me and just, block me on Skype, well, whatever. But, I mean, is there really a point to doing that? I understand if it's just in the game, it's just text chat, whatever. I don't know. Skype is more like some sacred bond almost. I don't know. I don't have a better way to describe it really than that. But the moral of that story right there is I don't really team. Now, earlier I said there might be some spots where I'm lagging, so my narration might not line up perfectly with what's actually happening. But since it is lagging terribly, it's probably not lined up well at all. I'm going around and I'm trying to find someone using my compass. If you look at my compass, it's in slot 1. I'm trying to make the arrow aim perfectly. Well, not perfectly, but make it so that the arrow, when it turns around completely, so I know where the person is. So that I want to make sure I'm watching it when it happens, so I know exactly where the person is. Now, what I'm doing here by breaking the sand is updating it just in case, so that if the person is underneath me and just holding shift or something, the sand will fall on top of them, if there's any way for it to, and suffocate them. It's a long shot, but if you get a kill like that, that's less danger for you, and one less person in your way. It's not that difficult to do either. You just break a couple pieces of sand and hope it falls on them. And now, for whatever reason, I just threw a snowball at that, I guess just for fun. Just to freeze it a little bit. And I'm really trying to find this guy. I'm really hoping I see his name or something. But in the time that it takes for me to do all of this, all the time I waste, he can move, and the compass won't really find him. Because, it points to where he was when I clicked the compass. It doesn't point to where he is currently. And at least that's what I think that's what it is, because during the time I was recording this, I was like, oh, it's definitely going to point to wherever he is all the time because it's focused on him. I don't think that's the case after what happens here, where I look for him and I just don't see his name anywhere. Now, for whatever reason, I haven't pointed this out yet. If you look at my hotbar, and if you don't know what I mean when I say that, look at the bottom of the screen where my compass, my 5 iron swords, my bucket of water, stone pickaxe, and 7 pork chops are. Cooked pork chops. I have 5 iron swords there. Remember the thing I was saying about the monks? This is basically my strategy to counter them just in case. The chances of you really finding a monk aren't that high, but it's always a risk. You want to be as safe as you can from any kit you can possibly think of. If someone is going to fight you and they jump into a water near them, assume they're a Poseidon. Don't go in the water with them. Shoot them with a bow while they're in there. Other things. Thor. Wait for them to use their super attack that does tons of damage. Freak, tons of damage. Tons of... And once it's down, there's a cooldown on it. So they're a lot more vulnerable once they've already used that. Now, if you're really weak, you're just going to want to run away, whatever. They don't have any way to catch you, really. You just got to be smart. To counter a chameleon, you just hit every mob you can. Hitting them will reset it if they're in a disguise. And to counter a demo man, you just don't step on their pressure-plated gravel. Worst thing you can do. And now I'm worried that he's really close to me, that he's in here, and that he's disguised as something. Assuming he's a chameleon, he might be that creeper right there. It's actually the thought process I use, that he's the creeper. And so I want to be as safe as I can, as sneaky as I can. But I also know that if he's disguised as a mob, then it'll still be pretty obvious which one he is, because when I hit it, it'll turn into him. And so I'm not too worried. I see the cobblestone there, but I also see mossy cobblestone, so I know it's a spawner of some sort, and I don't really worry to go in there quite yet. I want to make sure none of these mobs are him. And you also see my compass focused on UG Plat 303. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. I didn't really do it justice, I'll be honest. And that kind of was the alarm in my head that said, the guy that I'm looking for isn't here anymore. So I just finished off the mobs and realized that I should probably check out the spawner. Now, when I open that, obviously tons of zombies pour out, and I see the double chest, iron in it. I just grab it just in case, and there's nothing else really good in there, but when you see a chest, if you have a lot of junk and you don't want to just throw it in lava or something, if there's none nearby, just throw some of it in the chest. If it's junk and people waste time picking it up, that's time you could be hitting them with the sword. Now, I'm underground. The feast is starting in 30 seconds. That's not good. That's definitely not the situation that I want to be in. And also, still just worried that one of them might be him. I'm trying my best to hit them first, and then I would switch to my iron sword. At this point, wasting iron sword durability, not a huge deal. I mean, I have 5 of them. Maybe more in my inventory somewhere. I'm fine without them. And by now I've given up hope of finding him, and I just want to find a way out nice and quick. So I can get to the feast. I want to go to the feast, get some stuff out of chests, you get some kills. With the water bucket, if you don't have experience with a water bucket, like using one water bucket to climb walls, you might have some difficulty in Hunger Games. I don't know. Personally, I find the water bucket to be one of the most useful climbing tools in all of Minecraft. You only need one, and you can scale any flat wall, and a lot of 3-dimensional walls as well, as long as they act more like a staircase as opposed to it being inverted. It's a lot tougher to place water on a block above you and backwards, if that makes sense. It's still possible, I'm pretty sure, but it's a lot more difficult. Anyway, that's just the kind of situation where you use actual building blocks. And luckily for me, I'm really close to the feast. If you know what the feast looks like, you'll instantly recognize that island over there, and the person who's standing on it, who's probably UG Plat 303. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's definitely him. There's only 3 people left, and I know where the other one is. Plus, my compass is pointing directly at the island, saying that he's there. I don't know if uphill, whatever his name is up there. If they're in an alliance, it's really possible. And because of that, I need to be careful. But I also know if he's been here this long, he has diamond something or other. And I was kind of losing hope at this point. Just like, there's nothing I can do. the guy got to the feast before me, and no one contested him. And if they're in an alliance, there's 2 people that could have the potential of enchanted diamond swords, because there's an enchanting table at the feast. And I don't know, I was worried. So here, I'm careful. I think he might know that I'm here, and he's shifting right there, waiting for me to pop my head up, and then he's just going to hit me as hard as he can. And if he has fire aspect, I'm dead. But I see his name, I go up, and the fact that I saw his name means he's enchanting or opening a chest. Or he's just being lazy with the shift key. And because of that, I'm like, I need to get as many hits in as I can. And he closes the enchanting table right as I get near him, and drops his chest plate. And the reason that that's significant is because he was trying to enchant the chest plate, but because he took it off, that's 1 less piece of armor he has. And I know that I could probably do a lot of damage, but he has an enchanted diamond sword, and I'm just playing smarter than him. If you're watching how I'm killing him, if he had been able to hit me, he would have killed me. He brought my health down in about 3 hits to 4 hearts. I played smarter than him there. I out PvP'd him. I got a surprise on him. I got him to lose a piece of armor. And he just got totally outplayed. He had, I think, 3 diamond items. I'm in full iron. Now, that was definitely the most intense point for me. When I saw that he had diamonds on, I started freaking out. I was just like, there's no way I'm going to be able to kill him. There's nothing I can do here. I just gotta play my cards right. But even that, find some expression that matches that. That means I really don't have a good shot at killing him if he's in diamond armor and he has already enchanted stuff. Here, for whatever reason, I really don't need to put on all this diamond stuff, but I know it'll give me a huge advantage against the last person, who is actually the person I was trying to find underground but never could. And I waste a little bit more time than I should. Honestly, if you come this far and there's only one other person left and you don't think they went to the feast, just go kill them. But it's not a bad thing either. It's a bit of a waste of time. And I apologize for any time that I waste doing this. But if you look at the little length of the video, it's getting to the end pretty fast. 32 minutes in. Actually, it's probably pretty close to 33. I'm not sure once I had the intro and stuff. And this is only about 35, maybe 35 and a half minutes long once I had credits and the intro. So only like 2 minutes left. Whatever. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, if you get to the feast, and that's not really what I was trying to say, but it's what I should be saying. If you get to the feast island, you want to go through the chests and find good items. If you can find full diamond armor and diamond sword, congratulations, you just won Minecraft. If there's a bucket of lava and you don't have one yet, you might want to take it, because if they're hiding in a hole and they want you to fall in the hole so you get damaged, drop lava on them. Or you can also drown them. I personally prefer drowning them because the water falls faster, less time for them to react. But if they're down in a hole, honestly, your best bet is to try to make, if you have the gunpowder and the sand, make TNT, place it above the hole, activate it so it falls down and then blows up on them. It's not guaranteed to kill, but God, it's probably the quickest way to get it done and the safest way for you, because they're not going to be attacking you. Now, this is pretty much the final push, if that's what you'll call it. I really don't know Minecraft terms for you're going in for the final kill. League, you call it the final push when you're going to win the game off of it or lose it. And I don't know what Kitty is. I should specify that. I don't know what Kitty is. I feel like he's probably a chameleon or something because it's free. So I'm hitting pretty much every mob I can. I also know that with my enchanted stuff, I'm going to have a pretty big advantage. But I see him over on the hill. Pretty sure. I must have seen him a bit earlier. And now I see him over there. He sees me. I say hi. Second time I think I've said that this video. And he's pretty much given up on trying to run. And he just says hi with his arrows. So I dodge those. Start hitting him up. Dead. I also should mention that the sword had sharpness. I think it's sharpness 1 or 2. And that's a good game. I hope you enjoyed. I know my commentary was probably a little bland because it wasn't live, so it wasn't as interesting. I wasn't like panicking or anything during the times that I knew what would happen, but I still do hope you enjoyed.